The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more. Hello everyone, another video. Got some really cool books to talk about. But before I begin, I do want to give a really big thank you to Jackie and the rest of the crew for a wonderful Magic Makers Market this past Sunday. It was a beautiful day out and it was good to see everyone just enjoy what we had to offer. So many thanks, and I can't wait to do next month. Let's see, do I have anything else? Actually, I did apply to be a vendor for a market coming up this Saturday, but I have not received confirmation yet. Once I do, I'll probably talk about it in Friday's Viridian Tea House, so stay tuned. So let's begin with the books. So one is a book that I've read before many years ago, and another is a book I've never read before, but enjoyed it. So let's begin. I am a big fan of characters that really stand out. Just the character where the story just kind of builds and builds around this character and you never get tired of reading about them. I love Sherlock Holmes. I'm a big Holmes fan. Let's see, Lestat de Leoncourt, love him as well. And I also love Special Agent Pendergast of the Pendergast series. So this is the first book, The Relic. If you've seen the movie, it is very light compared to the book. I really did enjoy the movie because I like what they did with the creature, but the book was so much better, in my opinion, by the wonderful Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. But that's not the book I'm reviewing today. I'm reviewing the second one in the series, which is Reliquary. And let me read the back of it for you. When police find two skeletons locked in a bony embrace deep in the mud of Manhattan's shoreline, Natural History Museum curator Margot Green is tapped to help investigate. The skeletons show sign of foul play and of abnormalities that point to the awakening of a slumbering nightmare. Margot faced such a horrible beast once before, barely escaping with her life and sanity intact, which was all in The Relic. The search for answers will take Margot, NYPD Lieutenant Vincent D'Agosta, enigmatic FBI agent AXL Pendergast, and brilliant scientist Dr. Whitney Frock far beneath the city of Manhattan into an underworld few know exist and fewer still would dare to go. And about the authors, let's see. Douglas Preston is the co-author with Lincoln Child of the New York Times best-selling Pendergast series, as well as the author of several novels, including the bestsellers Impact, Tyrannosaur Canyon, Blasphemy, and The Kraken Project. He has traveled to remote parts of the world as an archaeological correspondent for The New Yorker and served as co-president of International Thriller Writers. Lincoln Child is the New York Times best-selling co-author of the Pendergast series, as well as the author of other novels, including the best-selling Utopia, Deathmatch, and the Jeremy Logan series. He has also edited numerous ghost and horror anthologies, including Dark Company and Dark Banquet. He lives with his wife and daughter in Morristown, New Jersey. Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child are one of those, they work so well together. And I think there's probably like 20-something books in the Pendergast series, maybe even more than that. And I stopped after a while and all these other books came out and I thought, I think it's time for me to reread the series. So I skipped The Relic because I already know the story and I just wanted to do it. But Reliquary, what a great second book and follow-up to an incredible book, The Relic. If you like thrillers involving just almost unbelievable circumstances, enigmatic people, and also a wonderful character, like I said, Agent Pendergast, you need to check out The Relic. That's the starting point, and Reliquary. I already have books 1 through 5, so I'm just like, okay, I need to start getting into book 3, which is Cabinet of Curiosities. But these books are not for the faint of heart. If you don't like to read gore or violence or any kind of horror or thriller, I would kind of steer clear. But if that's your thing, if you love where you're turning the pages and you're realizing that you need to take a breath, you need to check these out. And Reliquary does receive 4 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. It's not a 5, and honestly, I don't know why. There is just probably just something very tiny that just didn't push it for me to give it that extra pot of tea, excuse me. But this is one hell of a series, and Pendergast, from what I remember, becomes stronger and stronger in the books, and there are even more secrets that pop up involving this FBI special agent. So yes, Pendergast is amazing. And if Mr. Preston and Mr. Child are watching this, I actually met Douglas Preston many years ago. It was for the book Blasphemy, and he was so, so kind. So if you two are watching, thank you so much for continuing this series. Thank you so much for writing about this wonderful character. And I did see on a Facebook post that they asked their fans if we would be interested in an origin story for Pendergast. Well, I, for one, say yes. That would be one of those few books that as soon as it comes out, I just put my money down at a bookstore and say, I don't care how much it costs, I'm buying it. But yes, thrills, chills, lots of intellect, lots of gore. The Relic and Reliquary. Excellent, excellent books. So many thanks. Can't wait to read the third one again. So the next book that I want to talk about, it's an author I've never heard of before, and I purchased it at a book sale, and I decided to read it, and I read it in 1.5 sittings. And I remember closing the book and saying, this was an extremely depressing book, but excellently written. And that is Tides by Sara Freeman. And let me read the dust jacket for you. Let's see. Henfield Prize winner and brilliant newcomer Sara Freeman debuts with an intoxicating, compact novel about a woman who walks out of her life and washes up in a seaside town. After a sudden, devastating loss, Mara flees her family and ends up adrift in a wealthy seaside town. Mired in her grief, Mara detaches from the outside world and spends her days of self-imposed exile, scrounging for food and swimming in the ocean at night. As her money runs out and the tourist season comes to a close, Mara finds a job at the local wine store. There, she meets Simon, the shop's soft-spoken owner, a man whose loneliness she immediately recognizes as a mirror to her own. Confronted with the possibility of connection with Simon and the slow return of her desires and appetites, the reasons for her flight begin to emerge. Reminiscent of works by Rachel Cusk, Jenny Offal, and Marguerite Duras, Tides is a spare, visceral novel about the nature of selfhood, intimacy, and the private narratives that shape our lives. A shattering and unforgettable debut. And about the author, she is a Montreal-born writer currently based out of Boston. She graduated from Columbia University with an MFA in fiction in 2013. At Columbia, she won the Henfield Prize for the best piece of short fiction by a graduate student. Her work has been published in a number of literary magazines, but this was one hell of a read. Never heard of the author before, but the way that she wrote pulled me in. It really, really pulled me in. And what a sad and tragic story. And then, as the dust jacket says, when the reason behind Mara's disappearing comes to light, it makes it even worse. But you can't help but just continue reading it, because you kind of, well, I can't speak for you, but for me, I kept hoping that she would get some sort of a break. I just thought, please, I really hope something good happens to her. And actually, it does. The ending is quite satisfactory, and it's also really sad. This was just a very sad book to read. It really was. And I truly enjoyed the growing relationship that Mara has with Simon. And I don't want to give away more than I really want to, but it is, like I said, excellently written, You feel captivated by the characters. You feel the loneliness just oozing off the pages. You feel this hopelessness. And it doesn't stop you from wanting to find out more. It doesn't stop you from turning the page to say, well, what else can happen? But For Tides by Sara Freeman does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. This really is an excellent debut, and I look forward to reading more of her work because she won me over with Tides. And if Sara Freeman's watching, thank you so much, and please keep writing. Please, I will. You've made a fan for life. You really have. Thank you. So on to the tea portion. No reviews today, but just talking about one of my favorite teas that my boyfriend just recently got us another box of. Twinings Irish Breakfast. Now, I gotta be careful with this tea because it has such a punch of caffeine and taste, very malty. And normally I don't like to really put anything in the tea unless maybe some honey. This time I tried a little bit of stevia. Sometimes I will use stevia in my tea or coffee or whatever. So I'm just curious to see how the stevia is going to interact with just the bold, malty taste of Irish breakfast. So from me to you, a little bit of Irish breakfast from Twinings. Okay, so aside the fact that I put just a little bit too much stevia in this, it really brings out the maltiness. I can actually taste more of the malt and the heavy black than, oh my God, it's just so sweet, but it just kind of it kind of made it a little bit worse, but it's still quite a damn fine cup of tea. Oh, that is so delicious. Okay, so the second sip, I'm still tasting the stevia, but it's not as oh my God as the first sip. So, okay, maybe stevia and Irish breakfast kind of go well together. Just don't get heavy-handed with it. Yeah. Okay, that's a good combination. That really is good. But yes, if you are a coffee person, but you're looking to have some tea in the morning to kind of sort of have that same get up and go, I do recommend Twinings Irish Breakfast. And one thing that I like about tea more so than coffee is that, and I've always said this, coffee does this with regards to the caffeine and your energy to me, but tea, it just kind of keeps it steady. You're not trembling, you're not shaking, but you feel the caffeine, but it just kind of feels more natural in a way and not, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But Irish breakfast is a great way to start your day. You will not be yawning at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You really, really won't. Plus, it tastes really good. And I highly, highly recommend it with honey. I just wanted to experiment today with the stevia, but I really do recommend honey or no sweetener whatsoever to get that full malty taste. So yes, Twinings Irish Breakfast, the way to go for your Monday. And actually that brings me to news about my tea company. So my knitting blend, Bamboo Needles and Soft Yarn, it's almost ready. I just have one more thing I kind of forgot to do, but I'm hoping to release it maybe this weekend or next week. Early next week would be the latest. And I will talk about it on a future Viridian Tea House video. And of course, I'll also talk about it on my social media if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Or my blog, Eccentric Tea Woman. So yes, I'm getting so excited about this new blend, and I really hope that people enjoy it. I really do. So that's all I have, but before I send you back into the world, let's do a water or tea breathing meditation. So make sure you have a glass of water or a cup of your favorite tea. Find yourself in a quiet area in a comfortable position. We're just going to take a few seconds out of our busy day to breathe a little. So if you're ready, let's do this. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come back into focus. And now let's have a sip of your water or tea. Truly exquisite. So thank y'all very much for watching another one of these videos. If you like what you see, please give it a thumbs up, make some comments. And as I always say, if you are a published author, make your own tea blends, all about knitting, and you're just looking for an honest review, please reach out to me. I would love to connect with you and, like I said, give you an honest review about your product. So, and then as always, thank y'all so much for sticking with all these videos. And I cannot believe I've been doing this for 2 years now, almost 2 years. And it feels natural. You know, on Tuesdays, I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and get the video done. And I'm really enjoying also doing videos on Friday as well. So if you are enjoying these videos, and I'm going to keep doing them. I got tons of books, tons of tea, tons of really cool things to talk about. And I just appreciate each and every one of you for watching. So as always, take care of yourself and each other. Raise your teacup high. And remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. I will see y'all real soon. Bye for now.